So what's going on? Today I'm going to make a video of what I carry in my tackle bag. On a day like today, it's cloudy. There's not much wind, and the water's nice and calm. I fish stained water, so I'm going to have specific baits that I'm going to use. There's not much clear water here. It's either muddy, deeply stained, just borderline muddy, or just straight stained water. So the things that I have today for a cloudy day in my bag is what I'll normally carry when it is obviously a cloudy day. So we'll start with the outside. So obviously those are my glasses. I do have a emergency poncho for whatever reason it decides to downpour and I'm not geared for rain. For whatever reason, New England is infamous for it'll be sunny and then immediately change. So that's my emergency right there. In this pocket, I used to use pliers all the time. I've switched to this. This is a hook remover. It's made by Cast King. It does come in a set. This, a net, and something else. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. But by using this, it has cut my fishing as far as removing the hook out of the fish's mouth, if not in half. Completely simple, real quick, and it's really easy. Definitely something I would recommend. If anybody wants a link to it, you could just easily just shoot me a message. All right, next pocket. So in the front compartment I have these two. So what I carry these for is if I have a backlash on my bait casters. Go into the front pocket. Behind those is all my wacky rig stuff, my Texas rig for a day like today. So I have a Bass Pro Shops split tail Sticko 3.5 green pumpkin. I have a Lunka Log California Craw by Guggen. I have a Pearl Lunka Log by Guggen. And I have a Zoom Baby Brush Hog Green Pumpkin Blue, along with a Bandito Bug. This is Green Pumpkin Purple. I go through a lot of Senkos when I fish wacky style. Even when I fish Texas rig. Normally, if I do fish this Texas rig, I'll peg the weight and I'll just keep it on the bottom, because I'll throw this in like the heaviest of cover so I could get those big monsters out of that water. So I normally I'll go to Dick's Sporting Goods and I'll get a 30 pack of a 5-inch Yum Dinger. Front, I have my pliers if I ever need them. This front pocket behind it, I have my line cutters. These you can get at Walmart. They work perfect for me, nice and small. And in this pocket I have all my drop shots. Today I was throwing a drop shot. I'll show you my setups as far as my baits after we go through this bag. But I always carry a fluke, always. 100% of the time I have it in my bag. This is another one by Guggen. This is the Dragon Drop California Craw. Another Zoom fluke. I have a Guggen fluke in there as well. This one is albino. I like throwing it on a drop shot because it closely mimics the bait fish that the bass are feeding on. And here I have, these are one of my favorites, especially when the water is cold, by Big Bites Baits. It's a 3.5, it's called Limit Maker, green pumpkin, very subtle tail. It doesn't create much movement, and I normally will tie that on a drop shot when the water is cold. Now we got the outside, we'll go ahead and open up the inside, and I'll show you guys what I carry. Alright, so very few chatterbaits I'll carry. This is a Googan, pretty much a clickbait. I don't keep my trailers on, so once I'm done fishing, I'll take the trailer off, I'll put it back in the bag, or if it's banged up, I'll just throw it away. A smaller profile, same thing, green pumpkin, early spring. You know, you have to have your red craw. As you can see, I've been using it a lot. The clickbait specifically is by Googan, but this here is by Z-Man, and that is the Chatterspike. And as you can see, I'm barely moving it, and it's going insanely crazy. And last but not least is a pearl white chatterbait. Now for all my jigs, I'm big on jigs. I love jigs. I love jig fishing. I think it's just, the bite is amazing. So I'm just going to get into it. I don't have it in any specific order because I've been using them. I did have them in order by color, so we'll just dive in. This one's by Googan. This is a 3/8 swim jig, same as the clickbait, and I just have a regular white Senko on there. I have a 3/4 ounce football jig, a black and blue swim jig, and I have two of these. I just love the color. The PB&J color is just amazing. Football jigs in general, I love it. This one right here I haven't tied on yet, and I haven't thrown. I do have some football jig rattlers, and I have a Googan drag and drop on. So I don't know if you can hear. It does have a little rattle in the back here. This one right here is another swim jig. Beautiful color. I have a bandito bug tied on there. These appendages just go insane in the water. Black and blue. Black and blue, green pumpkin. Those are my two main pairs that I pair anything with. Black and blue and green pumpkin for sure. And then I have a little finesse. A little finesse jig. PB&J Kip and jig. Smaller profile swim jig. Another one of my go-to jigs. More black than blue, but definitely the skirt is definitely thinner, and this is a longer skirted jig. Bitsy bug right here. That is also part of the Bitsy bug. Depending on the body of water that I'm going to fish, will determine what swim baits are going to go in these boxes, so to then go in my bag. So as far as top water is concerned, you gotta have a Choppo. This is a Berkley Choppo 120. Whopper plopper right here. This thing, I love this thing. A mock whopper plopper. These are the swim baits that I will carry here. This is by Googan. And depending on the water I fish, I will tie this on. There's not many waters I'll tie this on and fish. Because of obviously what they eat. But when I do, this thing is amazing. This thing has a tight wobble. It looks really good in the water, and it sinks slow. This is another one of my go-tos right here. Obviously, I keep my top water in here, but there's my little mouse there that I throw. So I'm just gonna do an overview video of what it is. Alright, so here are my top water frogs. Obviously you can tell I'm a fan of Googan. You got Googan, 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 Googan. Another Googan right here. Beta frog. I do have a wake bait in here. For whatever reason, they don't want a frog. I'll tie on that wake bait. I have this monster right here. Crankbaits. After this box is my terminal tackle. Garage Slim 6. That's another great one for me. This one I had just got. I haven't had a chance to throw it. I do like the color. It is a floating. I mean, just look at it. And then, you know, I have to have these guys, these classics, for sure. I have different variations of different depths, but more or less it's the same depth. I try to stay, since I normally fish from the bank, I try to stay just at 5 feet, because I want to be able to fish from the bank as effectively as possible. So these are the 4 that I carry. These are my other 2. This has a hard rattle. This, again, Googan. They both go 2 to 5. I love this one right here. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. Again, Googan. This one's 1 to 4 feet. It's Berkley Fritside. This little guy right here. And I'm waiting till the sun is completely out and it's the middle of summer so I can throw this bad boy. Look at the reflection on that. That way the sun's rays will bounce off of this. Again, Googan, 2 to 5. This is 3 to 7. This big boy right here. This is more of a cold water for me. And I have my clears, or whites. 5, 6 to 8. Another one here. And another one there. These are my 3 clear white go-tos right here. So this is all the terminal tackle that I normally have on a day like today. And that's pretty much what I'll carry on a day like today. Almost forgot. A pairing that I have tied on, which I threw earlier. Black and blue. This one has a rattle with a black and blue craw. And I have that fluke there that I showed you guys. Chatterbait. So for those of you who follow me on that app, it's called FishBrain, I threw this in the water and second cast, threw it in the water, started reeling it in, and out of nowhere a bass came and ate it. Just the original chatterbait with a green pumpkin craw. Absolute killer. That's it.